Hi, welcome to my live. Today I am just working on some things and I thought let's hang out. I know the title is a little bit confusing. It's just not really meaning anything. It's just a generic title, so there isn't anything about it. I'll be staring at my pattern for a while, so I apologize if don't see you in the chat. I am just actively crocheting, so that will happen. So I'm sorry in advance. My roommate just left. I'm sorry about earlier. I had scheduled live and I deleted it because he had just come home for lunch, and so he was doing stuff, making noise and everything, and so I didn't really feel comfortable. Um, Nightbot is not working right now. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. It's not working. Okay, it's really not working. I apologize for this. Oh, now it is working. Who knows why? A second ago it wasn't. So I'll be right back. My roommate keeps like upping the thermostat at insane amounts, and so I'm just gonna try to fix it. Okay, I don't know what he did, but it is sure toasty in here. Um, but hi, welcome. Today's live is not gonna be about crochet. It's just gonna be a random hello hangout and such. But I don't really want to talk about the things I'm making. Just because I have to work and I have a lot of things to do. So I'm sorry. This is not a crochet with me. This is just a hangout. I might talk briefly about things as they pop into my mind, but I just don't want to make it about that. So, but feel free to say hello and to tell me what you're up to if you're eating anything. Let me know what you have in your cup if you have some if you're having some nice tea or something. I would love to know that. I've been on water for a few days. I've not felt like making any tea because everything in my kitchen is really sticky and I don't feel like cleaning all of that right now. My roommate just messes everything up, and as I clean things he makes them dirty. So there's no word for that in English, but there's a word in French. I apologize, it's annoying me right now. But there is no word for re-dirtying something. But there is one in French. Anyway, I don't like it because it's not expressing the sentiment I want to express. Because the phrase is not exact to what I'm feeling, and so that is annoying. It's just a struggle you have to go through sometimes as someone who speaks in a language that is not their own. Sometimes you're just culturally used to some phrasings and some things that just does not exist in the other language, and it's really hard to try to express things in that. So I'm sorry for that. I know that this is aggravating to watch, but my brain doesn't allow me to work with things like that. I will just like um get I will just melt down until it's not in my brain anymore. And so that's one of the things that happens for me. Um, but yeah, it's really hot in here, and I cannot like turn the heat down any more than it is. It's already like all the thermostats are saying they're not heating, but it's like hellish in here right now because my roommate a second ago turned it up like really high. But yeah, I wanted to talk about something. I'm currently making an Amazon wish list of things I need for my home because I do have a few things I don't have or that are broken that my roommate has broken. And so I'm trying to replace those, but it's like unrealistic at this point. He's broken like several $100s of worth of things. I had a very fancy bat mat from a small business, like a printed one, um, from someone who does screen printings and whatnot and things like that. You know, and it was really fancy and nice, and it used um like community based pattern, like not a community based pattern, but it used a pattern from someone who sells pattern, and I bought that pattern separately anyway because I'm using it for computer things and pattern things and whatnot, like as a background. And it's a file that you're allowed to use on your products, as long as you don't sell it as is. Like it has to be modified and or to be part of something. You cannot sell it as like a wallpaper, but it's made to be like printed on things like mugs, computer, no, mouse pads, cell phone covers and things like that, but sometimes I use those as like a background for digital files. And you have to be careful and to look at the specific shop because some of them don't allow that, but the one I've purchased in the shop policies, it says it does allow that. So I used it like sometimes back when I still had out office the office thing, Microsoft thing. I don't know the name, it changed too many times. But back when I still had Word, I don't have a subscription anymore. It's way too expensive. It's like over $100 for like I don't know the time thing for that. I don't know I can't say the word. I don't know the time thing for that, but it's it's too expensive. I cannot use it anymore, so I'm kind of stuck having boring patterns with no images or anything like that. Well, you can put images. What I mean is I cannot have background colors and whatnot because I'm using the Google thing. I don't remember what the name is, like Google Docs, that thing. Um, but yeah, I used to use those digital files for that to make it pretty, and I also downloaded a few open um, fonts and whatnot for that to make it interesting and to make it really scary. I don't want to see the other S word that is similar to scary because that has a racial connotation. And personally, I do not want to use it anymore. I know a lot of people, mostly white people, who use it. And I keep seeing people of color saying, please do not use that word. We don't want it to be used because it was used against us for a very long time. But people are like, oh, but Halloween, it's justifiable. I like S things. But no, I use scary instead because scary doesn't have that connotation. And so I just feel like better for me personally. I'm not gonna be mean to anyone for using it because I'm white. It's not my place to say what is acceptable and what not. I would prefer if you would listen to people of color and what they feel, how they feel about this. But I'm just saying that personally, I do not want to use that word anymore. If you're wondering what the word it is the six-letter word that is often associated with cute but scary things for Halloween and things like that. And so yeah, that has a racial connotation. It used to be there's an adjective, not an adjective, but like a noun associated to that adjective that is just one letter shorter, and it used to be used against people of color, like to call them out and to as a slur. It used to be used as a slur, so I just don't want to use it anymore. And I feel like I really do want to be mindful of that personally because I'm a disabled person, and I have not intellectual, but developmental disabilities. Like autism it's a developmental condition, and I have some learning disabilities as well. And so there's a specific slur, the R word, which you probably know what I'm talking about, which is often used against us. And so, because of that, I try to be mindful of what words certain communities are not comfortable with and things like that. But it's just personally something that is important to me. Like I said, I'm white. I am not gonna speak on this. It's very different from the N word because way less people are aware about that one specifically. People know what the N word is. They mostly know not to use it. Some people are resistant about it. But like most people are not gonna be jerks and are just not gonna use the N word and are gonna be like, they're gonna stand up and be like, please don't use that word if they hear someone like a coworker or a loved one use that. But it's just that the one I'm talking about here specifically, the other slur, is not even that known about. Like I've told some people who are very much into Halloweeny things as well, and they've been like, really, I'm not sure about that, and they've been like kind of just dismissing it. But yeah, like I said, I can only like inform people, but it's really not my place to tell anyone how to feel about that. Like anyone um who is any person of color, it's not my place to tell them how to feel about the particular word. I just can choose myself not to use it. Because I've heard some of them say they don't mind, but some others do. So yes, it's personal. It's just a personal thing for me. I don't want to use it anymore. Um, just because I'm aware and I'm conscious of it. I'm sorry. It's really tough explaining right now. I have a lot of brain fog, so I do apologize about that. I don't know that I'm making any sense. I'm just really trying to explain where I sit on that issue. Even like it's not an issue that directly touches me, but I just want to be mindful, and I would invite people to look into it as well. I know there's no one watching right now, but if you're watching during the replay, you can look into it. I'm not gonna type it in the chat because, like I said, I don't want to use it. But you can look into it, and like I said, it's a six-letter word often associated with Halloween. So, and it starts with S, ends with Y. So just so you know what word I'm talking about. I've been substituting it with the word scary And a lot of people have been like, don't you mean this other word? And I'm just like, no, I definitely meant scary. I'm just substituting it for something that I don't know is as problematic. That makes sense. So if you hear me call something that doesn't seem scary to you scary, that is why I'm doing that. I know, like, for example, my zombie cats are not very scary. They're cute, right? But I just don't want to call them the other word, and that is pretty much that. But I do like the zombie kitties though, and so right now I'm just talking about social issues and whatnot. I know that's not really to everyone's liking. I still have a lot of friends who have no idea that word is even has ever been used in such a way. Like, there's another one, like the word dumb, right? That word specifically, I can use it because I have the disability associated with that. But the word dumb, it doesn't mean stupid, by the way. What it means is someone who cannot talk. And so, like, a lot of people feel really bad about people who use that word. Personally, I don't mind because it's cathartic to a lot of people to use that word. And who am I to say who has the said disabilities and things, you know? But one time, when people assumed I did not have speaking disabilities, and they spoke for me, they called me abled and things like that because I was using the word, and they were like, stop using that, you're damaging other disabled people who have disabilities that you don't have. And I'm just like, how do you know that I don't have those disabilities? I have selective mutism, and I have speech impediments. So yes, I am dumb, and I can use that word however the hell I want. So oh yeah, and the page owner congratulated that person for saying it with kindness. How is it kind to assume what kind of disability someone else has and to tell them not to use words associated with their own condition? Like, it's just, if I were to choose to use the R word for myself, maybe not for others, it's a little bit intense to go and call other people the R word. Even if myself, um, I'm autistic, so it was uh, used a lot for people like me. But I use it for myself mostly to teach people who do not really take into account how damaging it is. But I go like, thank you for that. I am actually R, you know what? So I do say that to people sometimes, just so they realize the impact of what they just said. Um, but also, I just want to say, like, um, it's the same thing. The word dumb, I call things dumb all the time, but I am dumb. I have speech disabilities, and so that's pretty much it. Like, don't tell someone who is a member of that group not to use the word, but you yourself can choose not to use it. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense, and I hope I'm clear. I'm just trying to explain why some words are okay for some people, and some words you should be mindful about. It's just my personal opinion, really. And I can only speak, like I said, I can only speak from what I know. I cannot speak on racial issues. I can only say that personally, I want to be mindful of those things, and I support marginalized people. And I could say something like, for example, if some people were to say racist things in my chat, I would say, like, please educate yourself because you're making the black people in my chat uncomfortable by saying those racist things. And I do not tolerate that in my space. This is a safe space for marginalized places. I can say that because I wanna advocate for that stuff, and I want it to be a safe space, you know. But for example, be like, I could not speak over the person and decide for them what is and is not okay. No, I mean for the marginalized person, not for the person saying the racist things. I would not be saying, "Oh, don't say that." That's you know. Well, I would probably say don't say that, but what I mean is I would not like try to take the space off of the other person in the chat and be like, I know that I know about that so much blah 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 X thing, Y thing, and Z thing. No, I would want to give space for the other person to express their feeling towards that, because they are part of this marginalized group. If that makes any sense. Um, like I said, I'm sorry. A lot of brain fog today. Um, that's basically it. It's just it's just important to leave space for marginalized people in general, which I am a marginalized individual. I'm autistic and I'm queer, and so I do know a little bit about that stuff. And it's easier when you have kind of an insight about something to be open to learning more about adjacent social issues or just social issues in general. I know that a lot of my neurodivergent friends are advocates for a lot of that stuff, and they do it really well. Like, I cannot say that they are doing it perfectly, obviously, because I am not part of these other communities. Well, I'm queer, but like, I'm a white queer, and I'm an AFAB, so I am rather privileged in that sense. And of course, I want to be mindful of that. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to see where the holes are in the kitty. Okay, there we go. But yes, I can only speak for my own category. Oh goodness, pronunciation sucks today. I'm sorry for that. I'm really sorry. Um, but yeah, where I can, I want to be someone safe, and I want to make this a space where people feel like they can feel safe. And so this is never gonna be a safe space for judgmental people. It's not gonna be a safe space for racism, for ableism, for any kind of bigotry, for any kind of homophobia, transphobia, anything like that. So I just want to be clear when I say I want people to feel safe expressing themselves. This does not apply to judgment, lack of kindness, lack of empathy and understanding. Um, like I said, I want people to educate themselves, and I don't mind explaining things. But there is one thing, though. There's one thing I am gonna say. If someone is up for learning and genuinely didn't know something and wants to find out more, I will be happy to help out with that and to extend them like some grace and not be harsh about that. We're all learning. But I am not gonna hold that space for someone who doesn't want to learn and says mean things and is not intending on changing or learning. That is not something I'm willing to hold space for. I've been criticized a lot about this in the past. Like, how can you dismiss that person? They're just learning, blah blah blah. Yeah, if you're learning, like I said, if you're learning, that is a thing. That's one thing. But if you're not willing to learn, if you're not willing to acknowledge your shortcomings and to do better, that is when I'm not holding space for you anymore. You know, I know that for people, For some people, it might sound like I'm being mean saying this, but I just want you to know, just want you to consider for a second how a marginalized person might feel hearing you say this. That you're not like that someone is lacking tolerance for trying to create safe spaces for those people, and you're like, but you're not creating a safe space for me, blah 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 blah. The whole society is a safe space for you. You just have to face the consequences of acting in a stupid way, of being a racist person, of being transphobic, homophobic, ableist, or whatever word applies. You do have to face consequences when you say things. That is a reality, and you cannot escape that. And I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna, just not gonna hold space for that sort of thing, because it is not tolerance to tolerate hate and things that are damaging and dangerous for people. It's just like I would destroy the very thing I'm trying to create. Safe spaces, nice places where people feel at ease and comfortable. But yeah, Winter is just trying hard to make this safe and, you know, just a loving environment. And I know that some people are not much of a fan of the way I express myself about social issues. And they think that I get offended when I talk with passion about issues. Um, but I talk this way. That's all. Like, I'm not. I did say that I'm not a nice person, and that's true. I'm not in person, especially. I'm not nice, but I am. However, empathetic. I don't know the word. I'm not sure the exact word. I would have to look it up, but I have a lot of empathy for marginalized communities, and I'm part of some of them. And so that is just something I will not tolerate on my channel, is hate towards that, or the unwillingness to hear people out about that. And that is a boundary that I'm posing. And in marginalized people, I will include homeless people, and I will include people who face mental health issues, eating disorders, addiction. Those are all marginalized people, you know. Um, and they're facing things that are really hard. And so we have to be mindful of that and loving and everything. You don't have to accept what someone does, but you do have to be kind to them and like extend, not necessarily be kind in the sense that, oh, no worries, I'm gonna give you all my money. That's not what I mean. What I mean is like, I do hope that you try to take into account how they feel, how they are being treated by society at large and by people in general, and that you're willing to hold space for them, just include them in society and not completely dismiss them, because there has been problems in my chat with that in the past. So yeah, I just want everyone to understand that I'm a radical leftist, right? I said leftist, right? But I mean, I'm a leftist radically. I'm not gonna say exactly which flavor of leftism I am a part of, because then after that, everyone comes for you and tells you how horrible you are, even within your own political alignment or whatever. Because people are just mean to each other, even within the left. It's horrible. Anyway, I'm not gonna say exactly which brand of leftism I am a part of. I'm not a liberal, by the way, just want to make that clear. Liberals are a center ideology, by the way. It's not a left ideology. I know that a lot of people think it is. It's been presented as such for a very long time, but it has changed. And now it prones more rightish, centerish ideologies than it used to. So that I'm no liberal at all. I am completely a leftist, pure, hard. And by the way, I welcome political discussions on my channel, social issues, things like that. But it has to be done with respect, and I will not condone any sort of disrespect towards marginalized people, people who are suffering, people who are facing difficult conditions. I will only tolerate kindness, compassion, and willingness to learn and to extend kindness and empathy. I know it's a bit hypocritical for me to say that, considering I keep saying I'm not a nice person and I'm mean to people in person. But yes, I am mean, but also I care about human beings who are facing a harsh reality. So, yeah. I'm just like talking and talking. Here's what I'm doing, by the way. I said that I'm not really gonna talk a lot about crochet, but I just wanted, sorry, to show you quickly. This is one of Tanya's little zombie kitties. Her pattern is listed on my Etsy under the listing for those. If you wanna, I'm not knitting. I'm crocheting. But yeah, this is what I'm making right now. But like I said, I'm not gonna talk much about my crocheting today. I was more hanging out, but yeah. I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Don't worry, people don't know that everyone needs everyone. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Um, but yes, I don't know what I was saying. But yeah, I was saying that it's just something on my YouTube channel. I just want people to feel safe. That's pretty much it. That's the point I was making anyway. And we are just hanging out now until I have another subject to vent and rant about. I'm talking about political issues right now. I'm talking about the fact that there have been problems in my comments in my chat before of people lacking compassion. And I was just explaining that it's not something I want to hold space for. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what to tell you. Sorry. Anyway, I will now carry on to another subject. I apologize about the awkward moment there, but I really don't know what to say. um, what else is going on? Oh yeah, that's another thing. We're all human beings, and we all come from different walks of life. And on my channel, I have a lot of people who come over from other channels that have been linked to me or that have advertised my channel. And so sometimes there are misunderstandings about things because I don't really adhere or I don't really follow certain social norms that are presented within those channels. A lot of them are heteronormative. You know what I mean. But yeah, a lot of them are that, and it's no fault of them, of course. Um, Not everyone is queer that is part of it, but I am, and my channel reflects that, and I will talk about that openly. And a lot of people are really frustrated when they find that out upon entering my channel after having been recommended by someone who is not. And so I have faced some problems with that in the past as well. So I just want to say it's in my description. My description says very much clearly that this is a LGBTQ plus space, and so that will be discussed. But not everyone reads those. People will just start the chat, call me a girl, and they will disrespect boundaries, ask about very personal stuff, which most of the time I do not mind talking about, but sometimes people are a bit rude about that stuff, right? And it's not really something that you would discuss with just anyone. Like I said, I don't mind questions about sexuality and about gender and whatnot and things like that because it is part of who I am. But I want people to be mindful though that some other channel you come across might not feel the same way, and so it's important to approach those questions with a lot of empathy and love, coming from a place of wanting to understand, not necessarily from a place of criticizing or like malicious place, right? So, yeah, that is also something I did want to talk about. I have talked about it in the past, but sometimes it just need a little update. Just need to be talked about a little bit more, you know. Um, Thank you. Have a great weekend as well. Just drinking more water. Hydration, by the way. Nightbot is not doing its job. Let's see what I am listening to. We have a little function here. If you type song, it says what song I'm listening to. And I'm listening to Rivers End by Skinny Puppy. It is from their album Last Rites. If I'm not mistaken. Yes. Okay, it is. Sometimes I mix things up. I apologize about that. Oh no. I'm gonna put the hydration reminder a little bit slower because right now some of that is not really working. And we're gonna slow down the timer for donations. I have a timer for that as well. Sometimes Nightbot is really annoying. But yes. What else? Okay, we are good. But I also want to thank people because a lot of you guys have a lot of empathy and are really kind and loving people. And that has been reflected time and time again in our interactions, and I do appreciate that very much. And we may be different in some ways, but some people have been just the best people ever, have been really helpful and patient with me. We get sentimental here every now and then. It's not something bad. I don't think it's a bad thing to be sentimental sometimes. Which is probably way too often for most people, but this is the way I am. I'm a very emotional human being. So, but yeah, as I was saying, sometimes um, people don't necessarily read descriptions and your channel descriptor and whatnot. So they might not know that I'm queer. And they might be like shocked or surprised upon discovering that. And so I've lost some subscribers over it. I have some people like come in, ask me if I'm religious, and when I say no, they leave. Well, I am religious, but I'm not Christian, and I'm not um, I'm pagan. I'm just gonna say that quickly. I'm not gonna go into too much detail about that. And sometimes it's hard to talk about your faith openly, but it is a big part of my life. But yeah, sometimes people upon hearing that are like, "Oh no, thank you, not for me," and which is normal, of course. We each have our boundaries, things we like and we don't like, and we don't want to be a part of, and it is your choice as a person to decide what kind of content you want to support. I've not had very big trolls so far. I've had a few annoying ones. I've had one guy who kept asking me very personal questions, and I was just like, okay, let's talk about it if you want to talk about it. And we've had gamer person come in and ask me to do things that are not at all within my channel scope, because they were like, oh, but please play that game, please do this, please do that, and I'm just like, dude, it's not that sort of channel. I'm not a gaming channel. I might do some gaming from time to time, but I'm not primarily a gaming channel. I just hang out with people and talk about the things we have going on in our lives. And this is more of a friendly community, just looking to make friends and hang out, really, and talk about subjects. I talk about music often. I talk about Skinny Puppy a lot. It is my favorite band, and it is one of the best bands I have seen live. So I talk about that quite a bit. I talk about autism, mental health. Just, those things are a very big part of my life. So, but yeah, I don't knit, by the way. I crochet. I used to knit. I don't really like knitting. It takes too much time, too much effort. And now I'm finished with the zombie kitty's legs. So I'm gonna move on to the arms. And by the way, I apologize if I'm not checking the chat as much as usual. But I'm just trying to get things moving. So here we go. We have two of them now with legs. And I have a green one over here just as a model to where the things go, just so I don't have to check the pattern every 5 seconds when I sew things on. I just think this is the cutest ever. So this is Tanya's pattern, by the way. I talk about her a lot. but she is a local crochet pattern designer and a very good artist and a kind human. And a lot of people steal her patterns, and like things like Amazon and whatnot often sells like plushies and things with her pattern, but without like acquiring the rights. And so she's in some legal battles over that. So she would appreciate. I will link her Etsy right now. Just give me a second to actually get it. There we go. This is Tanya's Etsy shop. She has a lot of kitty patterns and she has a lot of really cute ones that she has one that came out recently. It is the space bun. It is so adorable, people. Let me just. This came out recently, and I might have to buy it sometime. I don't really have the funds right now, but soon. Eventually, because I do want to make it. But yeah, Tanya is cool. So give her shop a like if you feel like it. It's really hot in here. This is annoying. Mm. So yeah, let me know what you're up to. I don't want to be the only one talking. Feel free to say hello. Don't forget a thumbs up. Um, and if you're lurking, you are welcome here, and they appreciate you as well. I'm just gonna be silent for a little while until more people come along, just so I don't really run out of things to say and I don't just talk to myself. I will check the chat periodically. But yeah, my roommate just left and he's out right now. So I do have some time to do other stuff. I was thinking of maybe going to Michael's, but I'm trying to save money. I also need yarn. Right now they have a super big discount in their shop. But yeah, right now I don't really have funds for that. I'm waiting on a potential sale for from marketplace, but the person says that they can only pay in 5 days, and when people give you a delay like that, you know what it means. It means they're not gonna buy from you. It's not gonna happen. so so yeah, I was gonna sell her my boots, my new rock boots, but she keeps postponing and delaying it, and I'm just like, yeah, you're not gonna buy from me, are you? She's not, simply not. I do have to be aware of that. It's not gonna happen, but it's just something that you deal with as a person who makes stuff. Yeah. Well, what what else can I say, right? Not there's not much you can do. But sometimes it is little bit frustrating because marketplace people don't really view you as a human being. They view you as a commodity, like they view you as a any store you would go into. But no, I'm a person. I'm just selling my own things. I cannot um deliver to you. You would have to pay for that actually. Like I'm disabled. Do not I cannot deliver to people, but people get angry when I say no, and they say, "Okay, well, I'm not willing to pay that much money then." And I'm just like, "How the heck did you think this was acceptable? Did you not see my profile? It very clearly states that I'm not delivering." But anyway, I'm gonna be right back. Someone is knocking on the door, and I think that is my landlord's. So I will be right back, and we might be homeless. Oh, yeah, it was my landlady, but she left before I got to the door, so. Oh, well, she will come back later because right now I am streaming. I'm not gonna run after her. But yeah, I am not looking forward to that discussion with her. Not by any means. But, okay. And I do want to talk briefly about bills and things I have going on. Right now, I have a bill for $150 for internet. I thought it was $100, 117, but actually it was 158 something. I already have part of that paid, but they are canceling my internet in less than 10 days. Yeah, less than 10 days now. And I do have to pay like promptly if I want to continue streaming and having online shops and whatnot. So if you want to help with that, all my links are in there. I left my Etsy shop and my Ko-fi at the beginning of the stream. The stream, I can put them again. Let's see if it works. Sometimes not bot takes a minute to wake up. There you go. If you want to support me, that is the easiest way to do it. There are some of my patterns now, my crochet patterns on Ko-fi. There used to be my cross stitch patterns, but I added some stuff. And I would really appreciate you having a look. Of course, you do not have to donate if you're not comfortable with that or if you cannot afford it. I know that times are difficult for everyone, and we each have like a lot going on. But I do appreciate everyone just for hanging out. And same goes For Etsy, if you want to purchase my crochet items, it's over there. Right now, I have a big sale going on because I used to make friendship bracelets, and now I'm discounting them quite a bit because I do not make them anymore. I have carpal tunnel and it's too hard. And so they will be discounted in my shop, in my Etsy shop, for as long as possible. Possibly until I sell them all. So I do not have space in my home to keep them. I do not want to keep them. I do not want to hoard them. I just don't want them anymore. I just don't want them around. I don't have anything to do with them. I don't even wear friendship bracelets. And so, if you like those, have a look. They're really cheap right now. And they're cute. I have some rainbow ones. I have some arrowheads. Some very cute and classic patterns. By the way, I have bigger ones, bigger Halloweeny ones, smaller Halloweeny ones. I have a bunch of Christmas ones. If you have like that family member who's completely obsessed with Christmas things, like get them a friendship bracelet with some holly or something. That might sound funny, but they're really cute, and some of them have sparkly thread. They were durable and fun to make. I just don't really enjoy that process anymore. It's really long. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. Like in a day, you'll finish one small to medium sized bracelet. So just don't have that patience anymore. I've made like hundreds of those over the years. I might make some like once in a blue moon. Not enough to keep them in my shop, though. I really don't want that there anymore. I cannot express how much, but I really don't. I'm not interested in keeping any of them. So, selling. If anyone's ever made friendship bracelets, let me know in the chat. I would love to know that. Let's see. We don't have anyone watching right now. But if anyone is watching a replay or something, let me know. Let Winter know. Let me know. Yes, I am making weird voices. Deal with it. The cardigan I'm wearing is the first crochet cardigan I ever made, and it is a bit weird and oddly made, but it is a labor of love, and I very much like it. I will keep it my whole life. I hope so, at least. It's just some crappy acrylic yarn, and it is pilling quite badly, but I don't really care. It's like some Burnie super value and um, some Ubby Black Friday and some Red Heart Comfort. That's what's in there. The black was Ubby Black Friday. The red is the Bernat, or whatever you want to call that. Bernat. In French, it's Bernat. Believe it or not. In French, it is Bernat. But yeah, and the gray is the Red Heart Comfort. I'm almost out of it. I made a cat for someone in that color recently. And they deserved for me to make a cat because they are the one who paid for my plane ticket to see Skinny Puppy in Calgary, which is far from where I live. I saw them in Ogre's hometown. Wasn't that just perfect, you know? Yeah. I skipped around. Oh no. Oh no. Ugh. That's what happens when you stream. You lose track of things. By the way, I don't know who's advertising me as a knitting channel, but I have not knit on camera my whole life. So I would like to know. I would like to know where that came from. I'm just curious, by the way. I'm not saying that in a mean way. But I've knitted years ago. I can only knit scarf. I cannot knit in a round. I cannot do like decreases and increases. I do not know how to do anything else than just straight knitting, and I don't enjoy it. And I'm even trying to sell um my double pointed needles. So someone wanted to come by today, and I was just like, I was still in bed, and the lady's like, if you tell me where you are, I'll come, but you have to tell me. And she was like spamming me with messages, and I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna be home, lady. I was still in bed. I was gonna be home, but I didn't want to rush myself and like have to prepare myself in basically 5 minutes, because she was about to come uh, see me. That is, she was about to come by my house, and she like told me she didn't leave me much time, so I was just like, nah, sorry, it's not gonna be today. Sometimes you do have to have boundaries. People of marketplace do not have them. That's what I was saying earlier, talking about the lady who wants to purchase my boots, but says I can only come in 5 days, and I'm like, everyone who says that they're waiting to get paid ends up ghosting me. That is just the thing that happens on marketplace. Like, it's not anything against her personally, but it's just, it when someone is not coming, right? They don't seem that interested. And and this was after I told her that $200 was too low of a price for my new rock boots, and that I was more okay with 260. And she was like, deal. And then after that, well, I cannot come today. I can only come in 5 days. Yeah, no, you're just telling me that because you don't want to have to tell me you're not taking the boots. I have experience with that. Everyone does that. It's not to say that there aren't, if you honest, people still in marketplace, but when you sell a lot of stuff, you just know. People pull stuff on you. There are a lot of scammers as well. There are always like shady links, um, fake e-transfers, things like that. You do have to be wary about that stuff. It is a very hostile environment and marketplace. Yeah, I know I do talk about that quite often. I have a lot of items on it. They're not things that I've made. They're just things that I own that I'm getting rid of because I am poor. I lack money. Right now, I don't even have money for food. I did have the other day to get some of the money I'm saving for rent to get food because I was out. And so right now, I cannot do that again because I don't want to be set too far back. But yes, I'm out of food again, and it's getting worrying. I'm sure I will be okay, but it's the anxiety that comes with not having food. Sometimes it is harsh. Um, okay, one more round, and then after that, I have to stuff the arms. The arm, just one. Okay, it is so hot in here. I don't know what's up. I think my roommate might have like upped the thermostat in his room and is like leaving it open or some stuff. I'll be right back. I'll just check. I'll close this door. Okay, no. Yeah, it is open. Yeah, it's gonna be cooler now because his door was wide open and yeah, some heat. So I am sorry about that. I am complaining again. I complain all the time. That's what I do. And I cannot just remove. People tell me often just remove your hoodie or your cardigan, but I cannot do that because my hands freeze when I do that, and they become sticky. And yeah, it is a nightmare. But it is gonna be better now that I close this door. The thermostat will stop once his room is hot. He's finding new ways to trick me into having too much heat into the apartment. Um, basically. Yeah, for those who don't know, my roommate likes to play little tricks on me and to gaslight me about stuff. He'll do really silly things like put everything backwards when I just like put it the right way. Literally seconds after I put something the right way, he will pass behind me and put it the other way, or just like pull slightly on towels to displace them just slightly, just a little bit, just so he can say after that, I didn't touch a thing, you're imagining things. But yeah, like I literally saw him do it quite a lot, and yeah, he is a special brand of weird. Ugh. Anyway, I do not like living with him. That is for sure. Just making a lot of zombie kitties these days, by the way. If you have any projects you would purchase from me, or you want to commission me anything at all that is not a zombie cat, I would appreciate that very much. I have one zombie dog to make. I've made that pattern quite a bit too, though. So anything that is not a zombie dog or a zombie cat, or even not a cat, because I've done non-zombie cats quite a bit as well. But if you have maybe, I don't know, like any cute thing, maybe a witchy something, some other characters that I've not done yet. Winter is a little bit bored. I do appreciate everyone's orders, of course, and that is a great blessing to have supporters like that. You know, I just don't wanna redo the same thing again, basically. But right now I am making one purple zombie cat because I am replacing what I have what I've sold and given away from my shop because I sold one of the neon purple zombie kitties to Mr. Yarn Doll because he was purchasing it for Dawn. And I sent him one as well. So they each have their own zombie kitty. But now I'm out of the purple one, so I'm remaking it. And I'm making a yellow because it's one more color that I haven't done yet. I have the green, the pink, the blue, the purple, and now I'm making yellow. I will have to make orange, coral, fuchsia, and white. So I have 4 more that I don't have yet. They're cute. They're cute. Very cute. Their giant ears. I could take a break and stitch the fish on them. No, I'm gonna wait until the end to do that because I do have to stitch the stitches on the tail after. I have just a bunch of stuff. Okay, I'm down to the yellow arm right now. Okay, yellow arm. Well, this is just the first arm. This is the right arm. So I do have more to make after that. But yeah, I am hoping the lady will contact me again for my new rock boots because $260 would be significant for my account, you know. And it would feel nice. I'd be able to buy my internet thing, my internet bill, not my internet thing. I would be able to pay my internet bill. That would be great. But yes. By the way, tested a pattern for Nessa's knots, which is on Instagram, on Etsy, and on YouTube as well. And she is releasing this very soon, but she has a giveaway on Instagram. So let me just link that to you real quick. It is somewhere. I think it is still active. I will check that just now, but I do want to promote that because yes, it is open. It is still open. All right, I will just link that to you. Just give me a second here. Because I have to go on my phone. I cannot do it from. My computer because I cannot log onto my business Instagram. It's not letting me do it because it is stupid. But yeah, check out that. There is a giveaway for that pattern, which is the blood drip scarf. Look at that. I've made it. I've tested it. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous pattern and really fun to make as well. So, just wanted to put that out there. You still have until February 15th to participate in the giveaway. So you still have plenty of time. It's gonna hydrate. I'm starting to get tired and my eyelids are heavy. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh no, DND Anonymous. It's a meme on Facebook. I cannot show you because I have some personal names and information on the page, but it's really funny. Someone is saying, everyone is saying, I have dark vision. Oh, the person is saying, I think we're all in a dark place. Everyone is replying, I have dark vision. It's very silly. I used to play D&D. I don't really like it though because I've played in a very bad group that was not really accommodating and not willing to help me learn. They would leave it up to me and basically fault me for not knowing how to play. They wanted me to learn on my own time, didn't want to explain anything. But the thing is that you cannot learn a game without playing it. I will just forget the instructions and it's not gonna go well. I just wanted to understand how to play. That's basically it. But no one would explain it to me. So they can screw themselves. So it's just something I had an issue with, and I just don't enjoy playing those games anymore. And I don't really enjoy role playing games anyway because I'm autistic and I have personally I experience a problem with mentalization and improvising. I cannot do that, so it really frustrates me and it messes up the whole game. So I don't play. But yeah, my brain does not do those things that people do. They cannot. I cannot like create things from scratch and improvise on things. I cannot. I cannot do that. I my brain doesn't do it. So I've been told, but you crochet and you make art. Yeah, but I do so from the images that are already in my mind. It's not from scratch. Like right now, this pattern has been written. I'm following a pattern. And the patterns that I create are very lacking in imagination and concept and everything. So I struggle with that. That's pretty much my point. If it's not something I've seen before, I have a very difficult time imagining how it would look and how it would be. I'm not a creator, I'm a maker. I'm good with colors though. I'm good with the putting together of colors. I'm really good at deciding which colors might look good together, but not at making shapes and creating things. My brain doesn't think in 3D, by the way. I have partial aphantasia, or whatever, however that's pronounced. I don't have full, I just have partial. So I can have images in my mind, but they're not really clear. They're very blurry. If you tell me to think about an elephant, it's like a very vague shape that is not static through time, and it kind of loses its edge and changes color in a very blurry, messy way. So I don't have clear pictures in mind unless you tell me recall a very specific memory, and it's a memory I still have because I have a lot of trauma, so I just struggle recalling things. But but yeah, it is. Yeah, I have partial aphantasia. I don't even know how that's pronounced. I've not heard anyone say it. I've read it 20,000 times, but I have no idea how to say it. Happens to me with a lot of words. I consume a lot of content in English, but the thing is, nobody talks about aphantasia or aphantasia or whatever in uh, TV shows or movies. So, you know, and the people I've talked to in English, have only written it to me. Do you understand what I'm trying to get at here? Just there are words that I don't know how to pronounce, and it's not because I'm not good in English, it's just because I've not heard them yet. And even English speakers will have that problem, especially if you read a lot. There are fancy words sometimes, and you might not know how to use them or how they are said, but you know them and you know what they mean because you read them. And when you read them, you know what they mean. You can gather from the context, and you end up having a sense of what the word means. But after that, you're just like, what? That does not make any sense. It's crazy sometimes. Oh yeah, and I will only have two other arms and the tail left to do. So I do think I will finish this in time. I'm hopeful. I mean, by the end of the day, it's not that I'm in a rush or something. I'm in no rush to make this. This is just for my shop stock. I'm taking a little bit of a break for orders. I only have one order left to finish, and I will have to finish a zombie kitty and a zombie dog, and that will be all. So yeah, people, if you wanna order from my shop, don't be shy because if you want to, of course, I'm just saying that because I know there are like a bunch of people who have things from my shop in their cars because carts because Etsy tells you like you have three left and it's in five people's carts, things like that. And so because of it, I do know that some people are looking at my things, but. Like I said, I have a bunch of time now, so you will probably get your things in time if you order from me. Just letting you know that. Just letting you know I have space for commissions. And even if I'm tired of making zombie kitties, I don't mind making them. And if there is a colorway you want that is not in my shop, you can order a custom one. Like I will make basically any color of the rainbow as long as it's yarn that I can find easily close to me because, of course, it's a bit hard to use like a colorway that would have to ship and take several weeks to get here. But then after that, I only have 5 seconds to finish your order. It's so hot in here. Yeah, it's weird. But I want to hear about you guys. Tell me something. Tell me what you're working on, doing, thinking about. Talk about yourselves. We have a few people watching now. Okay. I just lost track of where I am right now. I will crochet in silence for a little bit, I think. If you do want to chat, the chat will still be here, but I just, yeah, my throat and my mouth need a little break, so I just kind of feel like I'm just talking to myself, and it's really annoying for people watching. So I don't, I wanna, yeah, I'll take a little break, essentially. Just gonna finish this arm up. Hydration reminder though. It's in the screen. There. There you go. And I think my roommate just came back. I'm hearing the door, and I'm hearing his specific footsteps. So I don't know. Sometimes he comes back at random hours. He's not on any schedule right now. He's not working. So he's like out and about, and he comes back. So I don't really have a frame of reference as to when he will be there. And if you're new here and you don't know about my roommate yet, the reason I don't really feel comfortable streaming when he's home, I've done that in the past a little bit. It has gone wrong, but I try to do it as little as possible. Is because he will act like a child whenever I'm here streaming. He will make noises and bother me every 5 seconds, and like walk in the hallway and stare at me with a big smile on his face or laughing. So he's just like really trying to distract and disrupt the stream. And so that is why, like, people have said they don't hear him and they don't, it doesn't bother them. But it bothers me. It aggravates me because it's a big distraction. And I'm autistic, so I do struggle with task interruption and things like that. And I struggle, like, continuing what I was doing if someone interrupts me or something. So because of it, it's a struggle to have someone, basically like a child, ask 20 things from you while you're streaming. So that's why I don't do it when he's here. And I try to do it as much as possible when he's not home. Because, yes, I come with the challenge level of brain. Like, neurospicy is what we call it. I am neurospicy, that is my flavor. I was doing a granny square blanket on stream that I should finish sometime, but I've not really had the time or motivation to make squares for it. It was a Halloween thing. It will happen sometime, just not now. But trust that this will be something for the future. I do want to test out one of the omiyokes I got from Hooking and Stitching Island Style. She gifted me two Omi hooks from Amazon, and I've tested one of them so far. It was really good. I enjoyed it. So I'm looking to test the 5 millimeter now. So that will probably be the project I do with this. The Halloween granny square blanket. I've been using a 5 mil, so it's all good. But yeah. Oh, yay! Yippee! I am done with the right arms. Now left. now left, and I was saying earlier that I'm a radical leftist, so this is my arm. I'm joking. Just being silly right now. Not me saying I would crochet in silence for a while and then talking. Let's see if yeah, we still have a few people around. And I do want to remind you to leave a thumbs up if you come in. If you want to say hello, that is appreciated. If you're just lurking, you're appreciated as well. But don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and yeah, I go live when I can, when my brain allows me to, and when my roommate is not there to bother me. And like it could be argued that it bothers him that I'm streaming, but also, um, yeah, there's other things as well. It's not just that. So look, right now I have two arms, two right arms, purple, yellow. Okay, I'll do the yellow again, and then the purple just because I have a very long yarn tail that I do want to get rid of. So there we go. Someone is messaging me. Yeah, just give me a moment. Oh, this is annoying. Someone keeps messaging me, emailing me stuff, and I do not wanna buy it because it's expensive. Hey, I'll be right back. Bathroom break, alright. Um, I will be back in a few seconds. I'll just put that in the chat. But I need to pee, so. And I am back. Okay, just a second. I need to adjust this annoying thing on my back. This is my first cardigan ever. I've made a few since then. Um, I have more experience in cardigan making now, so I do not make the same mistakes I did. And this keeps catching and everything. It's really annoying to wear. But it's too hot for my hoodie right now, so I'm not wearing that. I'll be right back. I have knots in my hair. I'd like to know how many whips you all have. If you want to share that, share your secret number. I have over 20 whips, and I have a bunch of cardigan pieces laying around, and I have one with Beetlejuice colors that I'm really excited. Actually, no, I left out the white. I'm just doing green, black, and the purple. So, but it's still really cool. So, well, in my opinion, at least. But I have a bunch of squares, and for it, I'm using Premiere Eversoft. If you don't know what Premiere Eversoft is, it's pretty much a similar yarn to Caron Simply Soft. It's the same style. It's a little bit cheaper. It has slightly less yarn though, so you might want to check like the yardage to price ratio. That might be helpful. But I prefer the texture of it, and the color choices are really nice. So I did that. And I don't think I'm ever gonna be making anything else with it because it is nice yarn, but also not my favorite yarn to use. But at least I did it, and I enjoyed the process. I still have a bunch of squares to make. I have a front panel to finish, and then after that, the sleeves, and then after that, just some assembly. I have like half of I have one front panel assembled essentially. No, it needs to be assembled on the side as well. It's just like joined at the top. But the way I do it is I add on the sleeves, and then after that I sew down the sides. So that's what I've been doing. Um, but it's just a regular granny square cardigan like the one I'm wearing now. Just the colors are disposed in a different way. And it's really interesting to me because I've made different rounds, different squares. It's not just plain squares like this one is. This one has three colors also, but not varying. I don't have like stripes or whatever. It's just plain squares. The other one is not that. Actually, it has no plain squares. The plain squares all have a round of black as the border, and it's crocheted with a 6 millimeter hook. And it is worsted yarn, so it's making it quite loose. But yeah. And it will be a very, very big cardigan. But I do have to do it that way because I gained a lot of weight. Um, but when I was making it the other time, I lost some weight and I considered making it smaller. And I think it might be a little tight because I gained back the weight since then. But I don't know. I wish I could show you. It's under too many things right now. I don't really feel like pulling that out. But yeah, I have some other cardigan whips. I have a bunch of squares, granny squares, whatever. I wanted to finish it for the Skinny Puppy concert. I did not manage to, and that's too bad. I'm a little bit sad because the first time I saw Skinny Puppy, I was wearing one of my creations, and the second time around, I couldn't have the time to do that. But yeah, I didn't have the time to put the special outfit together the second time around. But hey, if Ogre ever decides to tour again, Ogre is the lead singer from Skinny Puppy's personal project, side project, as people would call that. I think for him, it's more of a main project, and Skinny Puppy was his second project because he was getting way more invested in his own stuff towards the end. I don't think he really enjoyed Skinny Puppy that much anymore. But yeah, if he ever tours with Ogre again, I will probably have cardigans or sweaters and whatnot to wear to that. I do want to wear something cool that I've made myself because I want to look nice at the concert, not to be vain or anything, just because I think it's cool. It's not like to show off, but I just feel comfortable and feel nice when I'm wearing nice things I made, nice projects, things like that. It's just about feeling good with how I present myself, and it helps alleviate some of the gender dysphoria sometimes when you're wearing something, even if it would present as too feminine for some people, because I crocheted it and a lot of people associate that with femininity, the femininity or whatever. To me, it feels more myself, and so because of that, it alleviates some of the judgment and some of the gender dysphoria and some of the issues. Even if someone were to misgender me, I would just like, you're wrong. This is gender neutral cardigan. I made it myself. I decide what it is. This is not women's clothing. you know? I hope it makes sense. But yes, I am agender for those who don't know, and this means I do not have a particular gender. Well, I don't have any myself, do not feel like I have any gender, and I do not feel good being associated with gender in general either. This is just me personally. Some people might feel differently about it, but I'm just sharing from my own perspective how I feel about being agender. A lot of people have different experiences in the queer community, and it's interesting in my own mind. I think this should be celebrated, and unfortunately, a lot of people do not. Even within the community, some people are very exclusionary or have very harsh beliefs about who should and should not be almost allowed to express their identity, and it's horrible to be thinking that way when you're part of such a marginalized movement. It's my opinion here, but I just think anyone who is queer is valid, and we do not have to police what is queer and what shouldn't be queer or whatever. It's not hurting anyone that you identify as a tomato. It's up to you. And even if it were to be a mental health problem, um, really, it should not be threatening this other trans person that you identify as a tomato. It's a them issue. It's an issue with their own self if they feel threatened by how you identify. It's not hurting the movement. If Cis people want to deny credibility to your movement because of one person who identifies in a way you personally do not approve of. Like, you're just continuing stigma at that point. It may be okay, that sounds silly, identifying as a tomato, but it's just an example, and you know that a person who identifies a certain way, it okay, it has nothing to do with you. In a personal level, it has nothing to do with anyone else than themselves, and that is up to them to decide. And you should blame the people who are being transphobic for being transphobic, not someone else, not someone who's expressing themselves. And it's okay if you do not want to approve of them, but also, like, take into consideration how much you're trying to gain acceptance from cis people, from basically a whole group of people in society that is known for denying you that acceptance, and try to think of how that tomato person feels. I know it's just a silly example, but there are actually people who identify as trees and things like that. And while personally I do not understand, I am not going to judge it, because I do not know how it feels. And for a lot of them, it's just a way of perceiving gender and playing with gender, because they might be dealing with something that is not really there, and they're dealing it the way they can. And you may perceive the things and like impose your judgment upon that, but at the end of the day, like, it's just a way people are expressing something that they may not understand the same way you understand. And so I understand why that's frustrating for you, but also you should probably learn about it before dismissing it. Should probably just try to understand why someone would have the need to do that. That's all I have to say. Like I said, gender is a very strict box that so many people do not fit in. And so sometimes it will lead to things that are out of your personal comfort zone when it comes to expression. And you might feel challenged by how another person chooses to present themselves, but I urge you to try to put yourself in their shoes for a while and try to understand the necessity, their feelings, you know. I think that that's making sense right now. Now let's see if there's anyone around. People are watching me, but no one is talking. We have some lurkers in here. Well, I do hope you're enjoying your daily projects, and you're not so angry about the ranting I'm doing right now. I hope it's not too annoying, but I do hope you're enjoying crochet or your downtime or whatever project you're working on. This is an easy day. I've been looking at the pattern a lot, so I've been going on and off, like, from the chat, so I might miss a few things if you talk, but I will see it eventually. I do pop in from time to time. I do look at the page, so say hello if you want to. I just hope everyone is having a super good day. Um, I myself am having a decent day today, despite every shitty thing that is going on in my life. Today is okay, and I've had a lot of myself time, like me time, and I'm just like relaxing, working on stock for my shop. Basically, stocking up my shop in certain things. Okay, we have three arms now. I just have one more to make. After that, we are moving on to the tails, but I might take a little thumb break because the thumbs hurt right now. It's gonna probably do a few hand exercises after I stuff this. By the way, I'm just scratching the side of my nose. I am not scratching inside my nose. I just want to make that clear because allergies and whatnot, my nose is itchy. So, and there are little fibers like going into it. It's really annoying. And I've been like blowing and wiping my nose over and over, so it's kind of a little bit red and sore right now. The skin is breaking apart, and so when you have a super big cold and you blow your nose every 5 minutes, and then it becomes super red from the tissues and from the friction. I had that happen yesterday. It was getting red, and I now it's okay. It's a little bit red still. You might not see it on camera, but I feel it in person. Okay, this needs a tiny bit more stuffing. What a joy it is to stuff very small things. No, sometimes it's annoying. Oh, it needs a little bit more still. Okay, there we go. I don't think I will be stuffing it more. Even if now it's a little bit uneven, there's a little bit too much. I think this is reasonable. I think it will stay that way. It's a zombie cat anyway. It doesn't have to be exact. Okay, I will balance it out a little bit. I will put a little bit more stuffing in the other one. Just because now it is too stuffed. Okay, I think this will do. Yeah, okay. This is sufficient. This satisfies me. One of them is too big, but oh well. Sometimes human beings have limbs that are a little bit bigger or smaller, so it's no big deal. My kitty will be like that as well. Now I'm missing one purple arm. Here is the yarn. After the arms, I might up off stream. To be honest with you, I'm not in a very talky mood right now. I'm running out of things to say, so I don't know. It depends. It depends. If we have more people coming in and they want to chat, I might do that. Now, just stretch your hands. I'd like to crack them. I know it's not good, but do some stretches. There's stuffing stuck to my gloves here. I do some table stretches. Um, But yeah, I don't have anything more to add to this, so I'm just gonna let everyone go, and I hope you have a nice day. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for lurking. We had mostly lurkers today, so I do want to wish everyone a good weekend. So, thank you, and bye.